I remember when I was organizing this, I got an anonymous message on my Curious Cat where someone called me an SJW bitch for starting an Asian readathon. Dude, I'm literally Asian. I don't know if you know this, but I'm Asian. People get so fucking weird about diversity. No one's trying to erase white people, Becky. We're just gonna read Asian books for like a month. It ain't that deep. Calm your tits. Fuck. I didn't even start filming yet. Okay, my phone hasn't fallen down. We are good to go. Hello, I hope you enjoyed the April Fool's video. This video is gonna be the actual announcement for the Asian Readathon, which is a month-long readathon that will be from May 1st to May 31st. All of the details will be listed in a very, very comprehensive Google Doc in the description box down below. If you don't wanna look at my face or listen to me, I totally understand. Just click on the link. You don't even have to watch this video. But if you do, for whatever reason, I'm gonna regurgitate basically whatever's on the Google Doc. Basically, I wanted to do the Asian Readathon, and this was inspired by Blackathon. And what I really liked about that specific readathon was how easy and accessible it was to join along. And so I want this readathon to be just as easy, if not even easier, because if I'm hosting it, it needs to be as low effort as possible, okay? So no matter how busy you are during May, or no matter how ignorant you are of Asian authors, you are still able to join and pass the readathon. I have 5 reading challenges that will be very, very easy for you to do, but there's gonna be a twist to them so that it's just the right amount of difficulty without alienating people from joining. I will explain the twist in a minute, but basically the reading challenges are obviously gonna be to encourage you to read books that are by an Asian author or about an Asian character. It can be either or even both. So the first challenge that we have is to read a book by any Asian author. There we go, that's it. Pretty fucking simple. The second challenge is to read a graphic novel featuring an Asian character or is drawn/written by an Asian author. This one is also super simple because graphic novels are very quick to read. It can be a traditional graphic novel, it can be a Japanese manga, it could be a Korean manhwa. There are so many different styles of Asian graphic novels that you can explore, so hopefully this will be very easy. The third reading challenge is gonna step it up a little bit. We are gonna try to read a book that features an intersectional Asian character or is written by an intersectional Asian author. And what that means is that not only are you reading about someone who is Asian, they also have to have other different facets of their identity, like maybe they identify as part of the LGBT spectrum, or maybe they are neurodiverse, maybe they are mixed race. It could really be whatever you interpret it to be. The point is that you are not just reading a character that is solely defined by their Asian identity. Because fun fact, we're not just Asian, we are all kinds of different things. The fourth challenge is to read a book by an Asian author that was originally written in their native language and has been translated into whatever language you prefer to read. So that means that if you are reading a Korean author, that original work has to be written in Korean, but if you only speak English, obviously you'll read the translated version of that. This challenge is really just a way for you to make sure that you're not just reading Asian American authors, but cover different nationalities as well. And graphic novels do count. So manga and manhwa, which are almost always in Japanese or Korean, they would count for this challenge too. And then the last challenge is to read the group book, which is 1,000 Beginnings and Endings by Ellen Oh. This is an anthology book comprising of 15 Asian authors of all types of different ethnicities who have written stories based on Asian mythology and legends. So according to Goodreads, the authors are Cindy Pon, Roshani Chokshi, Renee Adier, Julie Kagawa, Melissa De La Cruz, just all types of different Asian authors, which is great. This group book will also be covered in the live show for the Asian Readathon, which will be hosted on my channel on Saturday, May 25th at, for now, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If it ends up changing, I'll be sure to make an announcement about that, but that's gonna be the tentative date and time for now. So this will happen the week right before BookCon, so you can enjoy the live show before you hang out at BookCon without me, because I will not be going there. Okay, so we got the reading challenges and we got the live show. Now here is the twist. I want this to be as easy as possible by letting you be able to combine the different reading challenges. But I also want to make sure that we actually try to be inclusive. So the twist is that each book that you read for the Asian Readathon has to come from a different Asian ethnicity, whether that's the main character or whether that's the author. The point of this is to encourage cultural diversity. So to give you an example of how this works, let's say that I read Death Note, the manga. And I decided that I wanted to use this book to combine challenges. So based on this list, I fulfill challenge 1, which was to read a book by an Asian author. I fulfill challenge 2, which is to read a graphic novel featuring Asian characters. I also fulfill challenge 4, which is to read a book originally written in the native language. It was originally written in Japanese, but I would read the English version of it. So that pretty much combines 3 challenges. The only challenge left is to read an intersectional Asian character. In order for me to actually complete that challenge, I need to read a book featuring an intersectional Asian character who is not Japanese, because that means that I would only be reading Japanese books for the whole Asian Readathon, and that's not inclusive, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Basically, you can combine however many books that you want, but it's important that each book that you read should be a different ethnicity. I mean, you can still obviously read more than one Japanese author. It just wouldn't apply to the reading challenges for the readathon. The thing about this twist is that it can be as easy and difficult as you want it to be. The easiest thing that you can do to complete the readathon is to read the group book and then read one book that fulfills all of the other challenges. One example of a book that does this is My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness by Kabi Nagata. This is by a Japanese author. It is a graphic novel and it covers LGBT themes. Bam, you're pretty much done. It is that easy. But let's say you want to challenge yourself just a little bit more. Let's say that you actually want to approach each challenge differently and cover a different ethnicity. So you're probably thinking, how the hell am I going to read all these different ethnicities? This is too much diversity. I am uncomfortable. Don't worry, because I got you covered. In the Google Doc below, I have compiled a list of book suggestions that have covered every challenge in the readathon, as well as been organized by different authors of each different ethnicity. That way, you have plenty to choose from each challenge and to read different ethnicities, and you don't have any excuse to not read diversely. This list has been crowdsourced by the book community and will continue to be crowdsourced by the community for the rest of forever, I guess. So if you have any recommendations for books that you want people to read, you can DM Asian Readathon on Twitter, or you can comment on this video, or if you are shy for whatever reason, you can anonymously message me on Curious Cat. Your recommendations will be added to the Google Doc, and this will be an ongoing effort. Remember that this is a community effort, so this can only be as diverse as we want it to be. I think that what I have in the Google Doc right now is a pretty solid baseline to work off of, but if you feel like we are lacking in a certain genre or in a certain ethnicity, please go ahead and send me those recommendations. It is only as diverse as we will make an effort for it to be. So that's pretty much all you need to know about the Asian Readathon. Hopefully you are not intimidated or alienated by these challenges. Again, I really want it to be as simple and casual as possible. If you are joining, be sure to use the hashtag Asian Readathon when you post a YouTube video or when you tweet about it, because I will be compiling a YouTube playlist to put all of the videos there. And the Asian Readathon Twitter will be retweeting the stuff that you send in. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty fun. So that's pretty much all you need to know for the Asian Readathon. Hello. So at first I was not gonna say who the other hosts were for the live show, because I was planning on announcing it kind of like one at a time to build up anticipation, but fuck it, I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm too impatient to like build up to that shit. There will be 4 other co-hosts that will be joining me for the live show. I really wanted to create a well-rounded panel of Asian booktubers that could represent different types of Asian identities in ways that I cannot. So the first co-host that will be joining me for the live show is Sandra from Got a Thing for Things. She is Korean Norwegian, she is pansexual, and she is actually the reason why we are reading the group book. She came up with a great book idea for all different types of Asian ethnicities, so you have her to thank for this live show even happening. The second co-host that will be joining me is Cav from X Reading Solace X. They are Indian American, non-binary, and lesbian, and they are a strong component for many of the South Asian books that are recommended in our Google Docs. When I was planning this Asian readathon, it was important for me to definitely include at least one South Asian co-host to clarify that yes, this Asian readathon does encompass all types of Asians. So I am very grateful for Cav for stepping up to not just represent South Asians, but non-binary people and people of different types of gender identities. The next booktuber that will be co-hosting with me is Elias from Elias Reads. He is Vietnamese American and he recently came out this year as gay. He's been part of the booktube community for quite a while. Not only is it rare to see an Asian booktuber, it's also rare to see a male booktuber. So he's like the biggest unicorn ever. And then last but certainly not least, the fourth co-host that will be joining the live show is Chloe from Books with Chloe. She is Korean Australian and biracial. Almost got you there, didn't I? You fucking wish, okay? You fucking wish. I knew that I wanted Chloe to join us, not just because she's a great person, but also because I think that is important for her to represent how just because you are mixed Asian doesn't make you less of an Asian person. It's still a very much important part of your identity. So overall, I am quite happy with the well-rounded panel that we have. And then there's me. If you're curious, I am Vietnamese American, and I'm not sure what I represent. I guess Asians that are dumbasses or something. But yeah, I am pretty happy with the panel that we have for the live show. If the book ends up sucking, we can still just hang out and talk about whatever we want, Asian books, diverse books, whatever. So definitely come hang out with us. I feel pretty content with the level of diversity that we have in our panel, not just in terms of Asian ethnicity, but also in nationality with people from Norway and from Australia, and then people of different sexual identities and gender identities, and even the ratio of small booktubers versus big booktubers. I wanted to keep that pretty even as well. All four of them are great and they are also linked in the Google Doc for you to check out. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be the live show. Come hang out with us. I remember when I was organizing this, I got an anonymous message on my Curious Cat where someone called me an SJW bitch for starting an Asian readathon. Dude, I'm literally Asian. I don't know if you know this, but I'm Asian. People get so fucking weird about diversity. No one's trying to erase white people, Becky. We're just gonna read Asian books for like a month. It ain't that deep. Calm your tits. So if you don't feel threatened by literally a smidge of diversity for a very easy readathon in 1 month, please go ahead and join us. I actually think it'll be really fun. I think that this could be a really fun community initiative. So please go ahead and film your TBRs, film your vlogs, take pictures, do whatever you want. I will keep an eye out for that. I will try to compile it in a playlist and retweet it and whatever. And it'll be fun. By the way, please follow the Asian Readathon Twitter because I made a pretty banner for that and I just want it to be acknowledged. Before I end this video, why am I leaning back? I want to share my TBR for the Asian Readathon so that maybe it could inspire you to start thinking about what your TBR might be. So here are the books I'm going to be reading in May. So the first challenge is to read any book by an Asian author. For that, I am going to read The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. She is an Indian author, so that is a check mark on that list. And I also plan on doing a reading vlog / week in my life video about it because I'll be traveling to New York City during that month too. I've heard mixed things about this book, so I really want to investigate to see if it's actually bad or if you guys are just racist. I'm just kidding, but I actually do feel hopeful about the book. I know that it's gotten compared to Six of Crows a lot, but I think that's just because it has a heist plot, and I don't want to compare it to Six of Crows. I want to see it as its own thing. And then the second book that I am going to be reading is for the reading challenge to read a graphic novel. That is going to be The Boat SBS by Nam Lee, and this is a super easy choice for me because it is an online and free graphic novel. I will post a link to it in my description so you can access it during May, but I would definitely recommend it to anyone who's looking for something very easy but also very immersive because this is actually an interactive graphic novel. From what I've skimmed of it so far, it's a really, really beautiful website. It might be one of the best websites I've ever visited. That might just be the designer in me talking, but take a look at it and you'll see what I mean. It has really beautiful scrolling animations, so I would definitely recommend it for the reader readathon, not just because it's easy, but because it's actually a pretty cool experience. And the author is Vietnamese, so I feel like I'm obligated to read it because I'm Vietnamese as well. I've actually never read anything by a Vietnamese author. I know, shame on me, but I'm finally gonna do it. And then the other book that I'm gonna read is Girls of Paper and Fire. This fulfills the challenge of intersectional Asian identities because it covers LGBT plus themes, and the author is Chinese. The fourth book that I'm gonna be reading is actually something that I have not decided yet. I've only decided that I'm gonna try out Haruki Murakami. He's a really popular Japanese author, and all of his work is originally written in Japanese but has been translated in several different languages. So I haven't read any books by him yet, and I'm not sure which one to start with. So if you have read his books, let me know which book you think I should give it a try. I think there was one called like 1Q84 or something that seemed interesting, and then another one called Norwegian Wood. I'm not sure which one to give it a try first. But hopefully by now you guys kind of know what my reading tastes are, so if you do know which ones I might like better, let me know in the comments. Okay, so I just found out that apparently 1Q84 is like almost 1,000 pages long, so fuck that. I am gonna read Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami instead, because that is like the shortest book that I found by him. We gotta cut corners, okay? And then obviously I will be reading 1,000 Beginnings and Endings so that I can talk about it in the live show. Let me know if you are also gonna be reading any of those books, and maybe we can be reading buddies or something. I don't know. Either way, post your TBR. Tell me that you're gonna join it. I think it'll be really fun. Okay, so the last thing I wanna do before I end this video is to give a shout out as a thank you for 24K. I give shout outs to booktubers who have less than 1K subscribers as kind of like giving it back to the community, I guess. So the booktuber that I am gonna shout out is Hello Katrina. I have been watching her videos for a while. She is another Asian booktuber to match the theme of this video, and she is just super well-rounded. Not only is she really interested, oh my god, why does my phone keep on tilting? All right, fuck it, I'm just gonna hold it like vlog style. Anyway, Hello Katrina is a great booktuber. I think that she's very well-rounded because not only is she interested in books, she is also really into fitness and into makeup and into sports. She's really funny and she's really stylish. Like, what can't that bitch do? I don't know. I think she has a really charismatic personality, so you should definitely check her out. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off this video now because I am late to work. But I hope that you guys join the Asian readathon. Even if it's like literally just to read one Asian book, that's better than nothing. So hopefully this isn't too diverse for BookTube. I know that we get a little bit shook whenever there's, you know, too many yellow or brown people, but we're here. Get used to it. Bye.